problems. I know what's happening today, but it's the way they need to be. Yeah, Michael, you're speaking about the self awareness and the process you go personally through. Uh, I would just like want to mention one things. Sometime you mentioned like tingling, sensation, electricity, everything what's happening in the body. But we all know this is this normal process. But what you will say to somebody which would like to go to self-awareness road and start to feeling like tingling sensation and everything, because I know some of the people can be a little afraid of some different sensation and feelings they will not experience before. uh how you deal with this? Or basically, I like this sensation because it's like they give me like feedback. Okay, we are alive and we are much more than what we think that we are.
Oh, definitely. Um, the human body is amazing.
Yeah.
Um, what's the first thing that you wanted me to talk about? Because I think you said like three things here.
Yeah, sorry, this is my problem because I go to with so many questions in one questions. Yeah. uh
It's all right. We got time.
about about how can somebody when go on the road of self-awareness start to
Okay.
understanding the first sensation everything was happening. We can start with this one.
Um, my recommendation is to, if you're physically capable, um, is to fast, okay, and go on a water fasting diet for, start out slow, do it for 24 hours where you only drink water for 24 hours and don't eat any solid foods. The idea is to not chew anything, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Um, then work up to 48 hours of no food and only water, and then go up to 3 days. And after 3 days, your body is cleared out. Um, uh, your water replenishes itself. Um, it replenishes the salts within your cells. The mitochondria talk back to each other. Um, you restore an electrical efficiency within your cells when you do it.
Yeah.
And so when that happens, you can feel if you're able to pick up on the subtle sensations. Let me say it that way. Okay, it can
Mm-hmm.
be for some people it can be as soft as you know maybe a ladybug crawling on your skin. Okay, where you would be able to feel that, but uh, in your mind, okay, you can close your eyes and touch your finger, or anybody could touch you anywhere on your body, unless you're paralyzed, you can feel it. You know exactly where it is, and you can put your finger right where they're touching you, or they just did touch you. Okay, that's our nervous system. All right. Well, the same thing happens with the inside your body. Okay, you could do the exact same thing by looking inside your body if you understand your anatomy. Okay, you can look inside your body just like you can look in your mind of where they're touching you on your leg or your arm or your back or something. Okay, and so I learned through fasting what of the different chemicals that I consume. Okay, on a regular basis, like I have my sugar, which is mellow yellow soda drink. Okay, I smoke cigarettes. Um, that kind of stuff. So I cleanse my body and get rid of these things. And not to mention, I have to do it on a regular basis, as being a self aware scientist, okay? Because I am working with nanomaterials, okay? It's
Mm-hmm.
really easy for me to um, build up heavy metals, okay? And so I have to, I listen to my body and my cravings, usually my food cravings, because like when I want cilantro, I know that I'm building up. heavy metals that I want to get rid of very quickly, you know. And so, I'll go load up on a whole bunch of cilantro just to cleanse my body of that because I know I've been working with these materials that, you know,
Yeah.
I don't want to put my body into any danger. Um, but you know, I eat pizza. It's a food staple of mine. I eat hot pockets. This is my diet. You know, how does that affect your spiritual and self awareness? You know, and when we ultimately learn that there is no stigma on the spiritual awareness, you're here to have the experience on Earth. Okay,
Hmm.
and what you're noticing is just where all of the different foods and sugars and other ingredients that you consume go in the body. Okay.
And sorry to stop you here because we are still in nutrition stuff. Which kind of the
Mhm.
food is most important? What they need to be care of that? I know that need to be like self-growing nutrition, sorry, food, but what you most recommend them on the start when they start to going to cleaning the heavy metals because we have it.
Yeah. Well, the cilantro, like we'll put that in like a salsa, you know, and I mean it'll be a whole bunch of cilantro that I can get at the store, and I'll just add it to my salsa, and I'll sit there and eat it until that salsa is gone. Um, but you can drink teas. There's plenty of things that you can do for a heavy metal
Yeah.
detox. But for me personally, cilantro works really well.
Okay.
Um, and I drink a lot of waters, and I the other thing is you have to take detox baths,
Hmm.
um, which was something that I never really favored. I don't know. I guess growing up, it was um, women and children took baths and men took showers.
Yeah.
That's the way we grew up. So for me to start taking baths, and I had to go through uh, just a little bit of emotional nagging of programming of growing up, of it's okay to take a fucking bath. Pardon my language. Um,
Yeah, doesn't matter.
the you know, and it was just I don't know what it was, but I learned that um, taking the hot bath, but using like um, probably a cup and a half, maybe 2 cups of Himalayan salt in a full bathtub, you know,
Hmm.
um, that did a lot of wonder for my body, pulling out a lot of any kind of toxins, whether it be nicotine or tar or any of the stuff associated with smoking. Um, it really cleans out because every bit of the minerals that's in Himalayan salt is the opposite polarity of what we digest. Okay, so when we put it in our food or we take a bath with it, okay,
Hmm.
it will pull out all of the heavy metals that are in your body, all of those minerals that are seen uh, or found in the Himalayan salt. Okay, it will extract them from the body in a bath. Okay, and then when you put it in your food during the digestive process that's going
Hmm.
through the body, it detox detoxes um, your urinary tract and the small and large intestine. Okay, and so that's like the best way, and that's just taking a bath with it, and eating it. And we switched to just primarily Himalayan salt um, probably about 4 or 5 years ago. Um, and it just really helps a lot for my heavy metal issues and concerns. Um, I already have metal fillings in my teeth, so I'm combating that kind of leaching until I can get enough money to get my teeth fixed and my ladies. But the when it comes to the detox bath, though,
Hmm.
uh, you want it to be as hot as you possibly can stand it. Okay. You want to keep your heart above the water line. Okay. And you want to sit there and sweat. Okay. That's the whole idea, is to sweat, because your body is becoming a straw. Okay. And it's drinking the water, it's filtering the salt, and it's pulling all of the toxins out of your body at the same time and squeezing it. That's why you sweat. And so, okay, babe, love you. I'll be down there shortly. She's not around here. Um, but when you're sweating, that's what's you're squeezing the water from your cells. Okay,
Yes.
and that's going to make you um, really thirsty. Okay, and so the idea is, while you're taking your bath, take in um, some pH water or some water and baking soda, even if it's just a tiny bit of baking soda in the water, okay? Just enough to
Hmm.
change it to an alkaline, okay, pH, and drink that. Drink, like, the whole 1 liter bottle while you're in the bathtub, okay?
Yeah,
And what that does is it gives the body the okay to release the rest of the water that's in your body, okay, um, while it's hot, so that it can continue to cool down, okay. And then you don't want to spend more than 30, 45 minutes, probably tops, in that hot water, because after that you're just depleting yourself, and it's going to be more detrimental than it is beneficial. But
that's true.
that's what's worked for me the best, was those Himalayan salt baths.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, that
Mhm.
means it's most important that you have detox first before when you decide to go to this road. Nutrition.
Oh,
Uh,
and one more thing, with
yeah,
the hot bath issue, people with heart problems shouldn't do the
yeah,
super hot water. Um, just do a warm bath. It's, whatever. Um, when you start feeling too hot, get out. That's how
perfect.
it works. Listen to your body. Don't wait for 30 minutes. Just, when you feel too hot. So, it's not like medical advice or any of that stuff. This is just things that worked for me. And there's been
Yeah.
several times where I've had to sit up on the edge of my bathtub, just to cool off, because, it was too hot. So, just a safety thing.
Yes, still will listen to the body is the best way we can always go. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, you say like detox, nutrition, listening to the body, feeling the sensation, allowing basically to growing. Uh, but I would like to ask you one thing, because like last time when we speak together, you mentioned Ionic seed germination station, which is for me something amazing what you're doing on the new, let's say the new technology, but it's most like ancient technology, ancient wisdom, everything. Would you like to speak more about
Well,
like this,
sure.
because I think that somebody would like to hear this some great idea, and how can we germanize really the seed
Well,
to the right way.
yeah. Oh, cat is behind me now. Well, I uh, I have 10 cats and one dog. Okay. Um, and so we accumulate a lot of cat food cans. Um, you know, feeding our cats, and it bugs me. And so I've tried to come up with some way that I could reuse. You know, maybe pay for my cat's cat food or something by selling some of these things or something like that. Or the litter. Um, but I I've just put together some simple concepts, and yeah, it's kind of ancient technology, if you want to call it that, because like the Baghdad battery, it was a clay pot with an iron and rod and a copper tube and some acidic type liquid. It could have been wine at the time, or something like that that was inside of it. Okay.
Hmm.
When I broke it down and understood what the physical attributes of that device was, okay, it only produced, maybe 1.5 volts. It wasn't really anything. You couldn't power a modern day light bulb with it, you know, that kind of thing. But I meditated on it, and I figured out that that's how they guaranteed um, their seed germination. And the only need about, less than, 1 volt to create um, this little electromagnetic field or energy field around the seed. And that's what came up in meditation. And so fast forward to, about a week ago, I had collected enough of my cat food cans that I could put together um, this little, um, it's, there are 42 cans total. Okay.
Hmm.
21 big cans, and then another 21 big can or smaller cans that fit inside um, the bigger can. Okay. So it's sitting flush with the bigger can, and it sits inside. All right. Inside of that steel can, I put like freezer pack gel and some cat litter crystals, and gosh, there was something else I think. Oh, just a copper wire. I used an 8 gauge copper wire, in the shape of a curly Q with a straight line on it. Uh, and it came up poking through the bottom of that top can. And when I measure the voltage, I get a voltage and an amperage from it.
Yeah.
And so I've created a sodium ion battery, um, just using those materials out of trash. Um, these are things that are all left over. I have purchased a new copper wire just because, I like things to look nice, but I have older wire that I could have used to make this. Um, but each one of the copper posts that comes out, okay, um, they have here in America. I'm assuming everywhere has these, but they're little dehydrated gardening discs, okay,
Yeah.
where you just add water to them, and then they'll swell up, and then you can put your seeds inside. Okay. Um, I've used some uh, Arkansas spring water here, and I got the little discs wet, and um, I all you do is you take the opening and you plug it on top of that copper rod there. Okay, and now
Hmm.
that dirt is receiving an electrical pulse of energy. Okay, whether it's the voltage or the amps or whatever, there is a distinct connecting um, energy there. And then you put your seed on the very top of it,
Hmm.
and um, you make sure that the base is nice and warm so that the seeds warm up. Okay, and I used a seed warmer underneath all of the cans. I have 21 of them. 21 of them. Um, I have 3 sets of seven, so it's 777. Good number. Um, but they're all connected together, and I get amps and volts that connect all of the, from either side of this device, and it's about, I don't know, 2.5 feet long
Yeah, it's
total.
amazing. Yeah.
But the whole concept of it comes from the Baghdad battery, the Egyptian pyramids, because I understand pyramid technology. I've applied that. Um, and basically, what I've done is I've recreated what the energy shape looks like underneath the Great Pyramid, which is that straight line with the curly Q at the bottom, okay,
Hmm.
a swirl or a spiral, okay, and then it's in water, okay, it's in salt water or fresh water or there's water there that is ionized in some way, um, and it's interacting with the granite. You know, that's why the pyramid was emitting the energy that it was at that time. Um, but the same concept moves into these devices of where the energy is flowing. So I'm collecting the positive ions um, from the sodium, from the
Hmm.
freezer gel and the crystals. Okay. And the crystals are silica. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just a crystal cat litter. It's a silica cat litter. Okay. And so they're interacting, and the silica is inside of the gel. Um, the gel isn't water. Okay. And the crystals are designed to soak up water. And so any water that's left in that is soaked up into those crystals, and then it becomes like a I don't know a little capacitor for energy, like a little extra storage um, inside the gel pack. So each one of those crystals is holding more positive ions from the sodium. Now that little curly Q that's inside that sodium is the delivery system or the pump, if you will, for those ions. Okay, as it's sitting inside the can, it's got that little spiral and it shoots up. Okay, and that's what
Yeah.
we're presenting to the seed. Okay, well, the whole seed pod, okay, all of that soil is completely isolated. Okay, and so the um, the moisture, okay, the water that is connecting the seed pod and the ions at the bottom, that becomes its energy transfer tube, basically. All right, it's really simple in my head, but when I try to explain it, it gets so technical,
Yeah. Yeah, I
and
remember you
it's
make me demonstration. Sorry, we make me show me a demonstration last time. It was amazing. Yeah, how can you see the energy,
the tech.
how it's going?
Yeah, I mean, the technicalities of it really are not that important. People want to know that it works, and so that's why I
Yeah.
built this thing. um, and sacred geometry shapes have come to mind. You know, the uh, the the first seven circles of the flower of life, um, are the shape that I used. It's also known as I think it's eight sides or six sides. I can't remember, but anyway, um, I believe it's six. Um, but the it's in the shape of the carbon geometry shape, which is six-sided.
Yeah, it's six.
Um, so that's the energy field that I wanted to present to the seeds, I guess, in the grounding, because they're all connected together, um, and they all share a common ground, but each individual um, post is independent. It's an independent energy source for that seed. It's not dependent on anything else. And so, therefore, there is no competition for resources among seeds, because even when you plant seeds in, uh, like in a plastic tray or something like that, okay,
Hmm.
um, and it's not grounded and they're not connected together or anything like that, you're trying to start seeds, they're actually sending off a pheromone at their germination of how many seeds are in the area and what nutrients they need in their local area that they need to be more aggressive for. You see, and
Hmm.
that's what happens when you um, the seeds talk. I just understand that. But if a seed is given its own independent energy, okay, that it can draw from at all times, um, when it's time for the seed to germinate, it will germinate and therefore it will grow to its fullest potential. There won't be, it'll max itself out on its fruit or its flowers or, you know, whatever, because the conditions were absolutely perfect for this plant. And this is what it was intentionally supposed to look like before conditions became degraded in some fashion, you know.
That's
Um,
great. I think that should start to using like more of this way, and also the result in the end will be more healthy and more energetic food, which can support your whole body.
well,
Not like,
it's not just that. I want to be able to use the analogy of the plants having an independent um, energy source
hmm,
as a way to uh, sway the people, I guess, into free energy, and that you should be able to that your family can be like this plant and prosper to its fullest if you had your own free energy source,
yeah,
independent energy source. And that's where I kind of see the whole, I don't know, maybe talking points later down the road coming in, because I just been looking for a different way to explain to people that it's much better to have your own independent energy. you know
yeah,
the plant experiment that we're going to see some, I believe, some fantastic results that's going to raise some eyebrows and turn some heads. Um, but I just want to prove that if you put something in the most perfect environment, that it will prosper to its fullest ability. And we can do that with our planet. And we have the technology, we have the means to provide every single person on this planet with everything that they need.
yeah.
But
We just need,
at the same time, you can't just go out and get a drug addict $50,000 because they'll be dead in a week.
yeah,
People don't understand that kind of stuff. um, you can't just shut down the power company and overpower them and shut them down. There are millions and millions of people who depend on those jobs to feed their families, and to, that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of repercussions to energy and free energy parts of
yeah,
things that still need to be worked out for, and I don't really like using the word free energy. I'm talking about independent energy. Um, and that's really how we work and how we operate. We have to be working for something. We don't feel like we belong unless we worked for it, you know, and that's just part of humanity. But right now, we're all being worked to freaking death. Not me personally, but
yeah,
I see my friends, I see my neighbors, I see the people that are, check me out at the Dollar General, you know, every other day. I see these
yeah,
people, and we've got a lot of people here that um, it's starting to hit home here that COVID, what they're calling COVID, is killing people, you know, and people getting the jab, and you know, almost within 24 hours, they've been diagnosed with brain cancer. You
hmm,
know, um, there's been like 3 or 4 people just in our county alone that have developed this. And of course, they're not going to admit or blame the jab on it, but people are catching on real quick, and that's just here in America. I don't know of anything that's going on right now aside from Q or something to that. But
Yeah, it's happening so strange. Still, we are now with this situation. We are like in the last 2 years. I think this is like everything like a bell for the humanity, that something is need to happen. That people need to understand this is now the time to like wake up. But what exactly is meaning this wake up? I think the people it's going so more like some of them they are going to confuse because we have now two side A and B side. We are basically divide the population or two side, and this is something not really good. But I
yeah,
think if people start to listening their self and their emotion and their feeling, their sensation, start to go inside, they go to deeper inside, they start to thinking of like ancient technology, like self-independent energy, self-independent food, and this everything this way. I
yeah,
think they will not be so much worried about the situation is happening because they are now worried about everything because everybody have like mortgage and everything and the house and the job and everything. It's like so mixed up. It's not really
yeah,
a lot of people which can say, I don't take care of anything what's happening now. I'm independent because
right.
we are all part of the system and we are all like
And
big human, like like big brain. And now this brain for my
we are.
opinion is like divided, and something is really need to happen and people need to just understand and open eyes. Look, we cannot leave
But
this
see,
anymore, we need to change something.
when you say something needs to happen, and there's a whole bunch of people that say that something needs to happen, and something does happen, and it's not what we expected it to be, that's when people get spooked, and
Yeah,
then they start to realize what's what's at stake or what's going on. You know, um, just like yesterday, I watched a video. Okay, and a guy was looking at satellite footage of the area of the Tonga volcano.
yeah,
Okay, and no shit, dude, it really seriously looks like a freaking missile, a really fast missile hit the water, it splashed, and then moments later the volcano erupted. Okay.
yeah,
Like somebody shot that fucking volcano and set it off on purpose. That was not uh, uh, a natural event. That was done on purpose.
yeah,
Now, that's the way I came across this, and part of like the remote viewing stuff that you want to talk about
yeah,
is you know um, I know this, but not a lot of people know this. I mean, this guy put the video out like 3 hours later when I saw it, and it had maybe like 100 views. So I mean, he's not really getting the kind of publicity that he probably should with that. But if people see that, they would definitely know and come to the same conclusion that there was a hypersonic missile that was fired and detonated that volcano.
yeah.
So
I think the people need to start to opening really the eyes and see what is happening. This is just one case, and this case is like bunch of them,
it
and
is.
it's like it's never ending,
That's
and
that's the false flag event, the volcano eruption. Um, uh, that's something to focus on out there. It needed to be something really big, turn the heads of people,
yeah,
you know, that kind of stuff. But I think they're they keep escalating and things keep getting bigger. And that was a very large explosion, you know. Um, and I feel like it was a demonstration of power. Um,
yeah. from some other side,
and
what they're showing, what they are capable to do.
whether it's China or Russia or anybody who I don't even know who the adversaries of America really are because everybody's a bad guy that's not an America. If you listen to the news, um, some of the kindest people I've met are all online and they all live in different countries. They sure the hell aren't Americans, you know.
Yeah,
But I understand that, you know, my country is under a lot of propaganda bullshit, that they're not used to, that they've never seen, and some things that they've seen for 30 years. Um, Me going to Iraq and, all the different countries in between that I went, we learned all the different ways. And Americans are spoiled fucking brats.
yeah,
um,
but
and they act that way. And, I promise you, the people that you're seeing on TV right now dancing around and trying to embrace uh, whatever the LGBT or whatever group, BLM, whatever they've decided that they need to attach to at some point, you know,
yeah,
that's not the whole world of America. That is the young generation. And there's, maybe 200,000, maybe 2 million out of, the 315 million Americans. And that's what they want to play out as this is what's happening. And that's not it. And we certainly don't like baby rapers. Um, we don't condone that. We don't endorse it. You know, it's just not the way things are. Um, so, I mean, you get into all of these different topics and different subjects that people are being bombarded with. What are we going to do? So
yeah.
I
I
work
think
on my little things and maybe I could distract people for a little while and, say, hey, look, we could do this instead of focusing on that.
yeah,
This is more fun. Uh, you know, uh, I'm currently working on trying to make my fishing boat fly. Well, hover, uh, utilizing some of the technology that I've been able to perfect so far, and we'll see how well I do.
yeah. That's good,
I'm not.
Michael. Yeah, you mentioned remote viewing. Yeah, uh, if
Yep.
somebody would like to learn to remote viewing something like that, what you recommend them? How is which is the process? I know we need to go first with the self awareness process and everything like cleaning detox in the body, but uh, maybe not going, or it
You don't
just can
have to
just happen.
be. Yeah, you don't have to be cleansed, like purified in your body to be a remote viewer. You know, um, most people are. They believe that you can. You know, what do I mean here? People who hear about remote viewing only believe that you can view the past, that you can't really view the future. And, it's all happening on the same world line and it's like a train track that you can slide up and down, back and forth. And then,
Hmm.
um, that's the way my brain understands remote viewing. I feel, I don't know for certain because I don't have the memory individually, I guess, the core of the memory. I have like a sensation or a ghost of a memory of my military training.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, and I believe that I was part of the MK Ultra Super Soldier program that they had. Um, Either unknowingly, unwittingly, or um, coerced into uh, the positions that I was in. Um, but they can program you to be like the best chess player, best strategic on the ground, in the moment decision making, uh, processing time. They increase all of this kind of stuff. Um, and I've done my fair share of mushrooms, and I did DMT um, before, and I learned to unlock parts of my brain that had been previously locked.
Yeah.
And then I came to a much better understanding of what remote viewing is, and it's super easy to do when you remote view yourself. Okay. A lot of people always try to think that you got to remote view something else in order to be remote viewing. And I can remote view other things. I just don't care enough about it to try to hone into that because nobody's asked. I don't need to. You know what I mean? It's just a lot of extra
Yeah.
energy. Um, but, I'll remote view myself, okay? Because I know where I'm sitting right now, and I also know what I'll be doing in 1 month, okay? At least once a day, and that's sitting out in my porch. So I can check in with myself, okay, in these future points without them actually having to have already taken place. Um, some people call that like time travel, but I'm really just looking at myself and I'll ask a question. If I make a decision today and I decide to do this, what will it look like in 30 days or 60 days or 90 days? Um, and I can jump along my own personal timeline because I know my decision making process. I know um, the decisions that I would make. How long would it take if I was to do this? Okay, so I
Hmm.
can see the finished product of what I want to accomplish, and then I can see what happens around me. Is that the kind of response that I want from the
Yeah.
people around me? And that's how I have learned about um, how I'm going to share this technology with the people, and the planet. Um, but in my study of human behavior, I had to learn about myself. In order to do that, I had to learn why it is I make decisions the way that I do. Where is that neural pathway passing through, and what's it creating, and what's it do? And these are really deep questions that you got to visualize and trace its origin. You know, you have to get to the root of that particular neuron or neural pathway, um, and then basically unplug it and plug it in to something right next to it. Is the way I make it in my brain. Um, but when I'm remote viewing, um, my whole body goes into like a heavy chested feeling. Like right now, I'm experiencing it. It's right in my heart chakra area, um,
Hmm.
and I get kind of a lazy type, relaxed feeling around my body, and my eyes start to relax a little bit, and then I can ask a question, and it's like I'm connected to this supercomputer of information, and I can get the most efficient solution.
Hello. Michael, you still here? It look like we still
Are you
have
there?
technical problems. Yeah. Okay, I can hear you. Michael? Okay, it's look like we lose it. Still start to explaining about the remote viewing and not what's happening today with this connection. All right, Michael is back. Hello, Michael. Are you with us? Hello, Michael. Can you hear us? No. We lose him again. Okay. Anyway, we are already roughly 1 hour. Let's wait Michael to come back. All right, Michael, can you hear us? No, network connection. Okay. Michael, I think it work now, yeah? Okay, we will wait a little more if it's established the network connection. Yeah. Uh, let's wait for him. Okay, let's go a little launch. Yeah, it's look like Michael have technical problem with internet connection. Anyway, he's trying again, but it's something really messy today. Michael, okay, today was with us Michael. We covered so many different topics. Okay, just a second. I just have Michael on the line. See, because the way where Michael start to how to do it remote viewing, we have the problem with internet connection. Let's see what will happen. Okay. Yes. Okay. Michael will try restart everything, and let's hope that he will come back. Uh, he's really amazing person. Like to let's say, downloading the knowledge from the higher perspective understanding. uh, his bunch of knowledge. I really admired him how he can look on the way and understanding the way basically, and also when he demonstrated me the experiment last this week about his products, the pyramid, to producing the, let's say, independent energy, and this energy then Michael connect to this can which start to make like ionizing seed germination station. uh, it's really amazing what we can do from the stuff we have at home. This is important. He didn't use something so expensive, something like not affordable. Like he say, he used like cat cans and silica, and like everything like this way, which can we have always all around us. Uh, and the another thing is like detoxing the body. Michael mentioned that he used like cilantro, which is really great to detox the body. And also I like the way like he explained the way where the opposite working on detoxization of the body, like magnet plus minus, and it's detox the body and taking the all like heavy metals out, because this is so important that we don't have in the body. And it's so important that we have like kind of like raw pure food to can take it to the body, and it will increase the all energy and everything, and also they will stop aging process and so many other benefits. uh, and another thing it's like which important is like like he mentioned like Asian technology like pyramid and everything. You really understand how everything is built and how everything is work. But today, or the point of this channel is just to hope that somebody of you will ask yourself, yes, maybe I can do something, maybe I can change my life. It's important. Maybe if you just like, let's say, light one soul, it's enough. It's important that we understand that we are in the time, and this time is really like a challenging time for all of us which going through that process. Some of them go easy way, some of them go hard way. Depends how we look and how many old belief systems still we have. And humanity is now on the point where we need to choose. We definitely will have day where we need to choose which way we'd like to go. The way we still know, the way we still live in, or which is something different, completely new, something it's like on the way we need to trust and allow to our emotion, to our feelings which we have, to our intuition that can show us what is the right way where we should go. And this is, I think, so important. uh, okay, Michael, just okay, just a second. Okay. uh, Michael have problem so much with internet connection. Just text me that she will not joining us today. That's mean maybe we will hear from him some other day. How can we use remote viewing? And yeah, if you would like to see some other topic in the next video, you can always link it below and write down what is your interesting topic you would like to be discussed, you would like to know. I will try my the best to find the right person to find the right guy. But please follow the rules. Ask always yourself how you feel, what you feel, which is like your vibration, and which way you would like to go. It's the most important that you are whole and you completely accept yourself. And even who, if you're the new one and you are starting already on this journey of remembering, of awakening process, let's say, not for me it's more like awakening process is more like remembering process, because we all the knowledge and all technology we have, and this is the living proof is like Michael already remember how to access the all information he would like to download it and use it. And if you feel the way is be something interesting or you would like to discuss, please comment below and I will select and I will find the best way to can support you with all this material. Thank you anyway. Thank you again for all today with us. And that's that. It's time to remembering. See you next time.